going on, guys? Tre'Leon here. I have my wife, Ashley Nicole, with us today. And today we're going to talk about the first motivated seller phone call. So if you can think of the first time that you've ever had your first motivated phone call, and if you haven't had your first motivated phone call yet, we want to be able to prepare you so that you can be ready for yours when your first one comes, okay? So I'm going to talk about a story of the first time a motivated seller phone call came in for us. And genuinely, when I first got started with real estate, I was pretty much the person that was doing the work and into the industry. She was kind of into hair and other industries at the time. And so I was supposed to be the one that was learning this information, and I was studying it and watching all the YouTube videos and really putting my all into trying to make this work. And so we didn't have a lot of money at the time. We literally had I think $12, our very first mailing campaign. Yeah. We could only spend, I think I had like $21, and we was like, well, we can sacrifice 12 of that. The other money we had to eat with. Yeah. And so we literally bought yellow paper, like yellow line, yellow line paper, and we bought some pens, and I found some addresses, and I literally just, we both actually start writing these letters. And so she was helping me write the letters, but she wasn't totally vested in real estate. That was still supposed to be my thing that I was supposed to make work. And so after studying all this stuff and watching all the videos, I feel like, all right, I'm ready. We sent out some mailers. We real estate investors now, because we sent out mailers, even though it was only a few of them that we could afford to buy stamps with. Yeah. And so literally when the first phone call came in, I couldn't even pick up the phone. I literally just looked at the phone ringing, looked at it, was like, oh, this is probably one of those sellers calling that we sent the mail to. I didn't really think about what to say when they do call, but I did figure out that you're supposed to, send them a letter, supposed to tell them that you want to buy their house. And then what the heck do you do from there? I didn't know what to say. Like I said, I was doing a lot of studying, watching videos. And so all I know is that she took the phone, was like, look, we spent our last one doing these mailers. We got to answer and say something. So mind you, she didn't do any studying. She didn't do any research. She didn't know what the heck to do. And so she just picked up the phone because I was too scared to. And she just got on the phone with the seller like, hello. And he like, yeah, I got one of your mailers, your letters here. It says you want to buy my house. How much are you going to buy it for? And she was just like, $40,000.
Dude, beware. Disclaimer. Do not give prices over the phone, period. Man. That's a disclaimer. That's the first thing. If you're nervous about it, do not give any numbers at all.
Don't give
Just
out
say,
an offer.
oh, I'll send it to you via email. What's your email? That way you can do some research and make sure your numbers are right. But do not follow my lead and just say $40,000. I didn't even know how much the house was even worth.
We didn't even know the address. We couldn't even call a person back. It was literally, that was our first incoming call from a motivated seller. We don't know how motivated they were. We didn't ask any questions. We didn't know what to say. We did everything wrong in that situation when it came down to receiving the calls. But you have to start somewhere, right? Yeah. You can't just be born with this. You didn't come out your mom's womb like, yo, I talk to motivated sellers on the phone and I get them on contracts immediately. Yeah. That's not how you're born. Everybody got to start somewhere, right? Everybody get that first phone call that you got to start with. And I know since that day when she just basically showed me out because I was too nervous to answer the phone on time. After that, it was just like, you know what? She didn't even do any of the research or study, and I'm sitting here scared to call, scared to actually pick up the phone. I know at least a little bit more to say. I just froze up at that time. And then when she did that and just was like, saying price off the top of it, I was like, I can't even blame her. Like, I can't blame her. At least she answered the phone. I didn't even answer the damn phone. So after that point,
he didn't prep me. He didn't say that. It was no time. When the phone is ringing and you see the number on there and somebody's holding it, it's like, okay, it's only 2 rings left, or the thing will hang up. So you don't have enough time to be like, oh, say this, say that. So it was literally just like, hello, and then go from there.
And so at that point, go ahead. Yeah, after that point, we actually developed a script on what we were going to say on the phone. We did that together. We developed the phone script. We developed an appointment script. we developed a script for everything at that point because we never wanted to be caught off guard about what we should say, especially after we just spent our last and putting out mailers and trying to find sellers and search for them. When it came down to us being on the phone with them or being in an appointment with them, we wanted to make sure not only did we know what to say and know how to do it at that point, but also that we work together as a team. And so that way, if we're at a certain part of the script that you handle or that she handled, then I know that I can come in behind her and keep the conversation going, and vice versa, that we can actually vibe and bounce off of each other as a team when we're actually talking with sellers or meeting with sellers. And that really made us take off after that point. Like after that first initial phone call, we went through the, we got to the big brick wall, we got through it, and then we learned our way to be able to maneuver around it and talk to sellers. And since that day, it's like either one of us, we can get on the phone right now with a motivated seller, or we can meet a motivated seller and have a conversation about real estate or buying our house, or however it goes. We know exactly what to say, how to say it. Like, at this point in the game, we took it so serious that we made sure that, every word that we say and how we do things, everything was tracked. Everything was written down, everything was made a script. To that point, we took it super serious after that one experience happened with us.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like that too. I feel like that script, well, I think it was from that first call, not knowing what to say and him knowing what to say. So it's like, okay, well, if you write down what to say, then if I have to answer, then I'll go ahead and, read what you wrote. And then we started developing, but people start asking those complicated questions like how much you want for the house. We have an actual answer or response to it. That will let them feel like we're professional and that we know what we're doing, but also you won't give up your cards as far as telling them how much it is when you didn't do no research or even know what house they're calling from. So I feel like it really helped with the scripted, response, and then also just, all the crazy questions, like those rebuttals, and just learning and not really feel like you're getting caught up. I know for me, talking to motivated sales the first time was always nerve-wracking because you don't really know what they're going to say. You can't predict it. And also you can't really predict what you say, but you can when you have a script or something that's like an actual outline. That way you can actually go walk through it and follow those blueprints to have a successful conversation. Because you're not just trying to look for just, I'm gonna buy your house conversations, more so letting us know why they're so motivated and what we can do to solve their problem. So the script was just so needed. So I'm glad that experience happened, because without that experience, we probably wouldn't have a script available for you guys to get, because that was so crazy how that happened.
Yeah, no, that one experience, that was meant for us. And that's like I always say, like anything that comes across your path where it seems like it's a barrier or it's a brick wall that you can't get through, if you're sure about your destination and where you're going, it's nothing that's going to get in your way. The only thing that thing symbolizes is basically how you can adapt, how you can get better in yourself, how you can get better in what you're doing. And that's the reason why those things seem like they're in your way at that time. And so that one situation, we're thankful at that first phone call and getting us nervous and figuring out what to do, because ever since then, we've been keeping track of everything that we say to a motivated seller. Like, you know what, when we said this, we didn't get a good reaction, so we'll take that out. But when we say stuff like this, we get a great reaction, we're gonna add that in. And we did that enough times when, we got over that first one, and we then had hundreds of phone calls now with sellers and buyers. And now we know exactly what to say, when to say it, how to say it, but we kept track of all of that so that we could come together and start now sounding like we know what we're doing, because we actually do know what we're doing, because we went through the work of doing all the phone calls and appointments and keeping track of everything on what we say, so we can be consistent out there in what we're doing. And so that one situation is what allowed us to be able to start keeping track of all of our business, so that we can now pass it on to others as they come along the way. So that's
we urge you to do the same thing, because you never know how far your real estate business can go. At that time, I don't really think that we thought about freedom lifestyle investments or investors on a broad scale and come down to being in real estate at that moment. And so it's like you never know how far it goes, because now those scripts and blueprints are available for our coaching students, available for anybody that works with us, so that everybody can be on the same page. And you want to create that for your business too, because you want to make sure that you know what exactly people are saying, what you are saying, and also the comments that you're getting back to make sure that every conversation is productive and also becomes a profit by the end of the day. And I think that's also what made us kind of whipped into shape, because we're like, oh, okay, this one call went away, we spent our last, and this could have made us, a little bit of money for us to get off of, that little bit of money that we had. So, when you start feeling the pain of losing money and wasting time, then you really start to, kicking this shape and trying to figure out what works. And so us writing down everything that we go through is really helpful for us to stay on task and also available for you guys too, because you know, with us learning or being teachers, I feel like you need to have something in writing to pass on to someone. And even if, God forbid, you're gone from here, you would still have a blueprint so someone can pick up where you left off, or even learn something new to create their own business too. So you just never know how far it goes, so definitely write everything down, because you never know what kind of script you may provide.
Absolutely. Even if you have to use other people's scripts and bring them
Combine
all together
yeah.
and change them to, you know, your experience with your customers and your clients and your area and your personality. You know, get as many scripts as you have available. Start from somewhere and then start tweaking it as you go along, and you're doing the work. Start tweaking it to be able to fit you. And so that's what we would recommend that you do. You can click the link below and get one of our scripts, or just find a bunch of scripts out there and start just doing the work. All right? You got any questions? We're always available for you to be able to contact us. I always have my social media links down there. I'm going to include Ashley's social media links down below.
On Instagram.
And we're available. We love coaching people. We love connecting and networking with folks.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll see you guys soon.
Peace.
Peace out.